So let me give you a very quick breaking update as we record this on the Gabrielle Petito case.
Still dead?
Yes, and we're getting closer to, getting a few more answers. But this was tweeted just now from the FBI Denver Twitter account. It says, Teton County Coroner Dr. Brent Blue confirmed the remains are those of Gabrielle Venora Petito, date of birth, March 19th, 1999. Coroner Blue's initial determination for the matter of death is homicide. Uh-oh. The cause of the death remains pending the final autopsy results. So
I was watching a lot of this.
Stepped into a ravine.
The sweet gig in law enforcement. Obviously, you don't want to get down and fish bodies out of morgues, out of mires, I should say, or
kicking down
ravines
doors,
or anything.
No.
The person in charge with setting up that Winnebago, that's the Field Command Operations Center, that is a sweet gig. Yeah. You got the air conditioning running the whole time. You got a pot of coffee on. Mm-hmm. Guys coming in always appreciate, maybe hit them with some Tostitos in the microwave, make a little cheese on there.
Pastries.
You're never really, in the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're there.
You wear the windbreaker.
You got kind of a sweet gig.
Yeah. Speaking of which, the only bad part is emptying the lavatory every once in a while.
Yeah, we have the guys back at the shop do that.
Oh, really? You don't even handle that? Okay.
They go in the woods anyway.
You make the coffee, but you don't handle that?
You make coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the maintenance. That's
craft services.
Yeah, that's
your cookie.
Yeah, your cookie is what I'm saying, because you cook. Yeah. We figure that one out. Yeah, Poncherella doesn't change the oil in his cop bike.
No.
That's for the guys back at the garage.
That's right.
But you drive in, you get the windbreaker, you set up, and you hang out in the Winnebago.
Yeah, you're still on the team.
Anyone who's ever hung out in a motorhome, it is awesome. They set it up once in a while in the infield of the racetrack. You go in there. They always got something's on TV. And by the way, you watch whatever you want in a motorhome. Mm-hmm. No one ever comes in and goes, "What are you watching? Do your job." No, that's your job.
That is your job.
You're in that motorhome.
Yeah.
It's a sweet gig.
A new life career choice. Mm-hmm. Big news out of New Zealand. Top story. 2 alleged gang associates found with a car trunk full of KFC. They were arrested as they tried to enter New Zealand's largest city on Sunday. Let me explain. Entering the city of Auckland, which is experiencing a strict level 4 lockdown, is in breach of lockdown orders. Level 4 means that everyone must stay home. Only essential services are open. The rest of New Zealand is at level 2. That's, kind of what we're used to. Restaurants and cafes and bars open, permitted. You can show your vax, whatever. CNN reports that police were patrolling the back roads near some outskirts when they noticed a suspicious-looking vehicle, did a U-turn, sped off. They pulled it over, searched, and found $70,000 in KFC. Mm-hmm. Among other things, and cash. So what they found from KFC was 10 cups of coleslaw, 3 buckets of chicken, a large pack of fries, 4 large bags containing other
so far worth
KFC
$14.
Items. That's right.
By the way, how do we get to 70?
They have cash on them, too.
Oh, okay.
The 2 men were 23 and 30, traveling about 75 miles into Auckland. They are in court for charges of breaching the health order, but says further charges are likely. And guess what those are?
Well, they're trying to smuggle it into people that are locked down? Is that what they were doing?
They weren't supposed to be going into Auckland.
Uh-oh.
But wait,
New
let me tell you.
Zealand's gone insane,
Let me tell you what the charge.
fucking sane in the fucking membrane.
You're right. And to your point, guess what the likely charges are? It could result in imprisonment for 6 months and a fine of 4,000 New Zealand dollars, so almost $3,000 in America.
Well,
6 months in prison.
Yeah, you guys look into what's going on in New Zealand and partially Australia, but New Zealand has gone off the fucking charts in the locking down, arresting people, like breaking up parties, not parties, but any kind of demonstration. They are in full fucking totalitarian mode over there. Insane.
Yeah, like I told you before, I have a dear friend who is working and living in Auckland with his wife and 2 kids. And his last post was 3 days ago at this sort of beach location. It says, Sunday Drive, Lockdown Edition. This is the view from Muriwai, which is about 45 minutes from our home. And, I hope he doesn't get arrested for taking these pictures.
Yeah, they make fucking Canada look like Jamaica.
Yeah.
I mean, Canada's bad. It's kind of New Zealand, Canada, America, Mexico, I guess, or everywhere else. So we could have it worse, but they're really bad, and there's lots of crazy stories coming from that place.
Island nation.
It's got to be. There's the government is really fucking going nuts over there.
Well, if there's a couple of cases, like 1 or 2 cases, they'll shut down the community, right?
Yeah, but they're getting into this kind of Orwellian kind of territory of like I said, Chris, I don't know if that was Australia or New Zealand, but they're arresting kids on the beach and like handcuffing kids on the beach and shit. Like there's got to be chicks running that place. This is not a dude.
Their
you know
Prime Minister
who runs
is,
New Zealand, right?
Oh, is she?
It's a female.
Jacinda Ardern.
Oh, and they're like making these speeches where like these crazy speeches like if you get information about COVID and any information you didn't get it from us, then ignore it. Like you couldn't go online and figure out what Brett Weinstein is saying about COVID or Joe Rogan or something like that. Like it's all official, government sanctioned. Right. Here's what it is. Like it is a glimpse into the future, people.
And we loved her. Like she was celebrated. As recently as last year? Like we all knew who she was because she was like this kind of young woman powerhouse, and she was amazing. And now this is it doesn't bode well.
It's fucked up.
So we have our first lawsuit out of Texas. Speaking of fucked up, follow me on this journey. A Texas doctor has become the first in the state to be sued for performing an abortion under the state's new law prohibiting the procedure after 6 weeks. Okay, he's an OBGYN in San Antonio. He wrote an op-ed piece for the Washington Post saying, I've performed this and understanding that he could be sued. Nobody in Texas had any thoughts about it. But a former attorney in Arkansas read the piece, newspaper one morning, decided he'll put the law to the test.
It's like Be Real says, you can't rap about abortions in Texas.
That's exactly
People are
right.
looking at that shit.
So this guy, Oscar Stilley, he's a disbarred lawyer who was convicted of tax fraud, and he is on home confinement in custody. He says, quote, I'm going to file a lawsuit. We're going to get an answer. I want to see what this law is. So he went on to point out that under the law, it doesn't matter that he was disbarred, that we're probably wearing an ankle monitor.
Doesn't have a law license in Texas?
He has no law license. He has no connection to the doctor. He does not live in Texas. He's in Arkansas. He says if he can have a chance to sue and collect his $10,000, he intends to be the fastest gun in the West. So that's the new world we live in, everybody.
Well, I hope it doesn't work, but if it does, it'll be like once in a while they try to organize a boycott against Chick-fil-A and it like backfires because more people end up going. If this works, that'll be the end of I don't know what'll be the end of it, but if it works,
it'll shine a harsh light.
Yeah, it'll shine a harsh light. So maybe we should hope.
Because it's like who is really getting in on this law? People who have very strict religious views, or somebody who wants to, quote, be the fastest gun in the West and collect that bounty. A Walmart worker named Beth McGrath has gone viral after posting a video.
There must be bounties. There must have been some discussions amongst bounty hunters and outlaws, like where you go, the guy catches up to you and he's got the bounty with him and he's like, $2,500, dead or alive. There had to be a lot of discussions where like, I knew the Dalton guys. They got $5,000.
Oh, yeah.
There's 3 Dalton boys, and they didn't do shit. Like I robbed more banks than the Dalton boys did. Who said 2,500? Like there had to be that discussion, right?
The coffee clatch getting together.
Yeah, like once you're captured, you're captured. Yeah. Now it's a long ride back into town, and it's a little insulting.
$10,000 for Billy the Kid. I got a pussy.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like there had to be some of those conversations, right?
Are you familiar with the movie Ruthless People with Bette Midler and Judge Reinhold and Helen Slater? That was basically the plot of the movie. When they kidnapped Bette Midler and the husband.
DeVito in the.
Yes, I think it was the husband.
Right.
And he won't pay the bounty because he wanted her kidnapped, so they keep marking her down.
Right.
And she gets really depressed about it.
And she's too annoying for her captors to take.
Right, but then she starts, not that I remember, she starts working out with like the chain that she's chained to, doing jump ropes, and gets really cute. And I think, if memory serves, she and Helen Slater maybe go into fashion business together.
It was so weird that
That's what I call high concept.
we would take movies that were not enough premise for an SNL sketch and turn them into full-length features, and then we take SNL sketches that weren't enough for an SNL sketch and turn that into those days are gone, I hope.
I don't know.
think.
Those were some good times.
I saw the Coneheads in the theater.
Oh, you did?
It was boring even for me.
Everybody wanted to be Wayne's World.
Right, but then how about, oh, God.
Deuce Bigelow?
The two brothers. Sorry.
Night at the Roxbury?
Not the Festrunk, the Roxbury. That's what I was thinking.
Were they brothers?
I don't know.
I think they were supposed to be. We'll ask Chris Kattan next time Mike books him. Or Will Ferrell, if Mike would book Will Ferrell. Yeah. But I don't know. Like, here's what I'm saying. We used to go to movies that were subpar, and they were just the movie that was in town, and you just went to go to the movies.
Yes.
That's why you went. Now, you think about the movies, how high the quality is now and what the choices are, and in a weird way, it's kind of like fast food, and I was just talking about Chick-fil-A and stuff like that. For me, when I was growing up, it's like there was Jack in the Box and McDonald's. But the In-N-Out Burger was off the fly list, and the Chick-fil-A's and the Five Guys and all these things.
Higher end.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and you're talking about the movies. I'm thinking about the movie theaters. We didn't have a Cineplex. I'd never heard that term. You go to the movie theater, and there's one of 3 rooms you go in. It's not like there's not 12 movie theaters.
The Roxbury brothers were brothers.
Oh, good.
Apparently.
Okay. Well,
hold on. Are you talking about every movie's quality these days? Makes me think, I just saw Cry Macho.
Oh, boy.
Oh, you saw that?
Sonny saw it,
I got to
too.
do a Bollywood on that.
Not good.
Let's say it's middling at best. There are a couple of good elements, but holy crap.
I'd have no. I'm surprised you went and saw. Well, you went
It's
and
on
saw it because you got
Netflix,
your
I think.
pass.
Yeah.
Or you saw it on Netflix.
No, it's on Movie Pass.
Oh.
It's on HBO Max or in the theaters.
You saw it in the theater.
I saw it in the theater.
I've seen 13 commercials that have zero.
It's dusty.
Zero thoughts about that.
Sonny saw it.
Yeah, Sonny saw it. As a matter of fact, I talked to him about it. And he's like, okay, but Clint Eastwood seemed a little old for whatever.
The women who were into him in that movie that find him irresistible are a combined 70 years younger than him. I did the math.
But also, I think
It's
about
2 women.
I think about my dad at age 90, barely able to get off the sofa, and Clint Eastwood directs and stars in a movie at
Pretty
90.
impressive.
He plays a rodeo rider. He still has the chops.
Yes, Sonny wasn't a fan. I don't even know why he saw that, but
He's into it.
he's
It's
into
Clint.
it.
You got to see every Clint movie.
Well,
And
that's true.
Are we going to get an Eyes of Tammy Faye Bollywood?
I like that
because I can't
movie.
wait to see it.
Yeah, I like that movie.
Okay, I hope you do.
It's good.
So
It's that you saw it already?
Yeah. Came out in limited theaters. Jessica Chastain, if she doesn't get nominated for an Oscar, I'll be very surprised. She disappeared into that role.
I can't wait. And we're going to just do like a really quick 2-day out-of-town trip after the wedding just to decompress. But it's a little bit of Sophie's choice because that's also the night that Many Saints of Newark comes out. And all Andy and I care about are The Sopranos. I have to put the trip off.
For the movie that's going to play for
We don't care. We have to be first in line. A Walmart worker named Beth McGrath has gone viral after posting a video on Facebook of her quitting her job in a very spectacular fashion over the loudspeaker. She even prefaced her rant with "Attention Walmart shoppers," and I'm just going to let her show you the rest.
There we go.
Attention Walmart shoppers and associates. My name is Beth from Electronics. I've been working at Walmart for almost 5 years, and I can say that everyone here is overworked and underpaid. The attendant policy is bullshit. We are treated from management and customers poorly every day. Whenever we have a problem with it, we're told that we're replaceable. I'm tired of the constant gaslighting. This company treats their elderly associates like shit.
Wow.
To Jared, our store manager, you're a pervert. Greta and Kathy, shame on y'all for treating your associates the way you do. I hope you don't speak to your families the way you speak to us.
She's going for a while.
Shout out to Cominique, Patty, Chardell, and so many more. Walmart doesn't deserve y'all. Fuck management and fuck this job. I quit.
No applause?
Yeah.
Well,
I like the guys who fart into the PA better.
I know, that's your favorite. That, of course, went viral. She jumped back on Facebook to thank everyone for their support, for the donations, and it went on for a while. But here's a clip. Yep, of her
Did she
explaining.
have the big gauge earring blowout?
Yeah, you could see like a little dot next to her nose.
No, she got the nose. She got the
Like
nose
the
ring.
The
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know.
The big gauge earring. I got to go back to that footage. I cannot see if she's wearing a beige colored hoop earring or that's part of her ear.
Are you
is
guys
the
familiar?
question.
Are you guys well? They look for that. Are you familiar with Gina may have heard it. The Great Resignation we're living through. They're calling it the Great Resignation.
Yes, I actually.
Are you not aware of this?
Hold that thought, please.
Okay.
For another
you may hear
two
more
and a
about
half
that.
minutes.
All right.
But yes, I mean.
Wow, timely.
Yes, please contribute that in the next story. That does look like a gauge with nothing in it.
Yeah, stretched out.
But they must have clear gauge keepers, like they do with shoes. You know, you pop that stretcher in your loafer. Because otherwise it just dangle, wouldn't it?
No, it is dangling.
All right, she's got
Roger
pink
Ebert
hair,
jaw.
she's got a nose ring, and she's got the big gauge ears. So fuck her.
Oh, good. Well, here she goes back on Facebook and explains why she recorded the video of her quitting in the first place.
I didn't record the video for clout. I recorded the video for my fellow coworkers to let them know that I do love them and I do want what's best for them. I wanted to be their voice. I wanted to be my voice. And I just wanted to thank everybody who has donated. I'm sorry that I can't thank you all personally, but I am overwhelmed by everyone's support. If I had any advice from this, it would be to say, do not be afraid to speak your piece, even if it tears you down first.
Ugh, she's got emotional issues. I get that job sucks. Right. That's the whole thing about. I mean, how many shitty jobs has everyone here had?
Boy.
You have a shitty job, and it motivates you to move on. Or
Most jobs are shitty.
Right. Everything. It's like
a job.
Yeah.
Every job you have at the beginning is going to be shitty because it's baked in. It's like you have no skill, you have no education, you have no abilities,
no experience.
So start stalking.
Yeah, it can all really be charted on a construction site, which is the guys who walk onto the construction site dig ditches and pick up garbage. At some point, you get sort of apprentice-y jobs, but you still have to do a lot of demo and dirty and shit work. At a certain point, you become a carpenter, and then you get into like finish carpentry, and then at some point, you roll up in a nice truck, and you don't strap on your bags at all. You just tell the finish carpenters what to do.
Ooh, right. One more level.
Yes.
Homeowner. You show up. Show up once every 2 weeks. Like, oh, it's good. I don't like that.
Right. Don't hang out. If you just hung out doing the labor, you'd go, this is the fucking worst job ever, because it is.
And but there is upward mobility.
But I want to know what this great walkout is, or whatever we're talking about.
Well, yeah. So as Brian said, it's the Great Resignation, and it started essentially with people staying home, getting their checks, saying, screw you, I don't have to do this. And now people have moved on to something called ghosting coasting. And that is specifically when you get a job, you do it for a couple of days, and you just disappear. It's the exact opposite of this girl from Walmart.
I've never heard about this.
Yeah, it's even when people are being onboarded and you get the job, they are now telling people, we know what ghosting coasting is. Like, if you want to quit, please give us a heads up. And people are still doing it. Business Insider reports that it's a new trend where, businesses are scrambling to hire unqualified people at the last minute who only need to pass a background check, and that's it. And then that leaves the rest of the staff scrambling, unprepared. But others say ghosting coasting is good because it causes some positive change in the industry that employees would ordinarily treat people like disposable workers. They're now treating them like real employees because they want to hold on to them.
Let me piggyback on what Gina's saying. I didn't know about the ghosting coasting, but we've all seen it, right? At restaurants, like hiring now, please, start today. And it goes all the way up to like Christy's level. Like she heard from a recruiter friend of hers, like it is a feeding hiring frenzy out there for talent, mid-level, executive, like everyone, people are realizing, the great resignation is people are realizing, oh, this job sucked. I can very easily get another job at least at this level right now. And people are saying, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
I wonder also if I've always I learned this from Kalen many years ago when I sort of said to him, what's the plan? And he's like, I got food, I got weed, I got a big TV set. I'm cool. And I was like, yeah.
Might bang the old lady on your bed later.
When I was your age, I wasn't cool. I wasn't cool at all. Like, I was fucking literally hot because we didn't have air conditioning.
Yes, everything sucked.
And everything sucked.
Had a box TV.
You didn't get to eat places you wanted to eat.
Yeah.
You certainly didn't get to travel at all.
Yeah.
Forget about how or where or when. There was no sushi. There was no travel. There's no air conditioning. By the way, the car was catch as catch can.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get out and fiddle with the coil wire. It's not catching. You know what I mean? And in a world where, like, as I've said many times, like, I really wanted cars and I wanted to work on cars and I wanted that. But let's just say you don't like cars. And let's just say you don't need a yard. Let's just say you like eating out, you like traveling, you like vaping, you like experiences, you like whatever, going out and enjoying yourself and whatever. You don't need to make a lot of money
Not
to
anymore.
go out and enjoy your life.
Yeah.
Watch your big old TV set. Go get Pluto TV or some streaming service, unplug everything. Yes.
Remember in the day when you were poor and you wanted to do one of the things, go to a concert, go to a nice restaurant, you had to call in a favor or hope something went right. Like, I hope I
Right.
get a gift certificate for this
Yeah.
like restaurant chain, or
Right.
hope someone I know works at this place, or you know what I mean? You had to have You had to have a connection, otherwise it was off the table.
Yeah. And you didn't really get to have experiences. And now everyone's on the internet. And first off, you're having experience just looking at your computer.
Virtual
but
experience.
You got a phone, you got a computer, you got a TV set, you got a car that plugs in and never needs maintenance. And
Every movie ever made can be watched instantly.
and the best weed ever for,
Yeah.
at rock bottom prices. It's not too shabby. Like,
Well, you've said it a million times. There's never been a better time to be poor.
yeah, and air conditioning in your car and in your apartment, everywhere else. And it's like, man, I want to enjoy myself.
Yeah.
There's much more. It was a conceit that you would have to be miserable for a long period of time if you wanted to be successful.
Yep.
And now it's like, I'm not willing to put in a decade of misery
Don't need to.
own my own home.
Yeah.
I got a nice apartment and I got a nice car
Yeah.
and I get to do whatever I want. I think there's some of that going on.
I think you're right. Now, Caitlin's a father of two, very respectable member of the community.
Yes, because I snapped him out of his malaise. Look that shit up,
You're
Stoner.
welcome.
Thank you.
All right.
That's what we know of.
Right.
I might have brothers and sisters across the country who was a truck driver.
No, it's a good point. Like, whenever they catch a serial killer and they go, he's killed 18 people, like 18 that you know of.
That he's confessed to.
Go ahead and tack another 40 onto that.